Valkyrie prepared.
We shall be perfect.
This is the final day. It all ends here. Harry Potter and the Starcraft Stone. Dun 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 dun. Sue whips out his one. Vada Kedavra, whatever. Hiya's over there. Rafflecopterus. Not sure what I was going for there, to be honest. But this is Sue versus Hiya on New Bloody Ridge. So, not sure what that was about. But anyway, let's recover from that horrible intro by me telling you that every single game today, and this is very rare by the way, every single game matters today. There are no throwaway matches. Usually at the end of round of 16s, OSL round of 16s, there'll at least be a couple of games, one or two, or even more, that don't matter, but yikes. Except, up at the 2 o'clock position in brown is Sue, a boy named Sue. Somebody's down at the 8 o'clock position and something is Hiya. He is in red. Rafflecoptero! Okay, no, we're not doing any more of that intro. But as I said, every single game today matters. So every game is a group decider, and every game today might force a tiebreaker. We might have 4 freaking tiebreakers the day after these OSL games were played, which is way later tonight, actually, thinking about it. By the time I upload these games, the tiebreakers might be going on. But I'm going to wait a day to... Oh, baby! Yep. Goliath Online! Good baby. That's a great baby. Look at that baby. He does not even know what the hell's happening. But he does know that this Overlord is scouting for cheese. Sue's Overlord is going to the left, looking for something. He's like, I know Hiya's going to cheese me. He's going to do some ridiculous garbage because that's the kind of player Hiya is. No doubt, Hiya is one of the wonkiest TVZ players out there, but I think it is his best matchup. He is very good at the matchup, very good at coming out with very unpredictable strategies. Alright, here is Hiya. What the hell is Hiya going to do here? What is he doing? Engineering bay, of course. Building an engineering bay to block the hatchery. This is an old Terran trick. This has been used for many, many years. You haven't seen it a lot recently, but it's still used every now and then. If a Terran player gets a drop on a Zerg player like this, he builds the engineering bay at half health, just to make it more difficult to take that. And of course, Sue is going to pull off some drones to take down the half-health engineering bay so he can finally put up his hatchery. So Hiya is going to delay the hatchery for quite a long time. In fact, Sue might just end up putting down his spawning pool and getting out some Zerglings to deal with this, because Hiya, he's walling off in sight of his main, but he does not have another SCV to protect his SCVs at the front. Hiya, what is Hiya doing there? What is he building? I wasn't sure exactly what Hiya was building at the choke. Seems another engineering bay, trapping the drones outside. And luckily, Hiya canceled the engineering bay that was at the natural expansion, and eventually he's going to cancel this as well. He's just trying to deny some mining time for Sue, and it'll probably end up working out. It'll probably end up being worth it to deny these 3 drones their mining time. Now's about the time when you cancel Hiya. There we go, he cancels, so he doesn't lose too many minerals in that exchange. I can't do the math for how many minerals he would get back, because I'm horrible at math. But yeah, he just canceled a couple of his engineering bays, so he did not lose that many minerals in that at all. And he takes down a drone, takes down the scouting drone that was inside of his natural. And now he's going to get his natural expansion running after pumping just one single marine, it looks like, at his natural. Third hatchery already coming up for Sue, and I didn't even realize that Hiya had saved his scout. Yeah, he saves the scout inside of the main, so he's seeing everything that's happening at the moment. So Sue's got to do something about that soon. You got to chase away that freaking SEV. Damn SEVs. So Hiya already working on another barracks inside of his main. Hiya's very much a bio-focused kind of player. You don't usually see him go mech, just because he's so good with those small squads of Marines, good at drops especially. He beat Jaedong last season with an excellent drop strategy on Pathfinder. Of course, that has the whole, that has the whole teammate thing going on. Obviously, teammate matchups are always very difficult to call because, as it's been said many times by me, the players know each other so well. So that's probably most of the reason that Hiya won that, is because he knows Jaedong's play inside and out. Probably practiced with him on Pathfinder. Not to mention Pathfinder, a very drop-friendly map, and Hiya loves his drops. Expect to see a lot of drops in this game as well, even though it's this map not quite as conducive to dropping strategies. Here comes Su. I think he's about 1 or 2 shots away. 2 shots from taking down the SEV. But the SEV going to try to stay in here long enough to see the next building. I don't think he's going to be able to, no. Though, 2 shots, and the SEV goes down. So, alright. Cute kid. Look at that cute little kid. A lot cuter than that freaking baby earlier. That baby's like, what's StarCraft? God, freaking baby. He needs to research. Research, baby. Maybe the player baby should give him a run through. But here comes the +1 attack, a real engineering bay. 3rd time's the charm for Hiya over there inside of his main. He's working on that +1 upgrade for the Marines, which will help a lot against the Mutas. Let's see what's coming up. The Spire is going to come up for Su. He's going to try to switch into standard off of that very annoying opening from Hiya. Hiya going for tons of barracks. He's going to have 5 barracks now, and he's going to pump lots and lots and lots of medic and Marines. Flash has had a lot of success with this kind of strategy lately, starting off with a huge amount of medic Marines, delaying the 3rd for a long time. But by delaying the 3rd, you have an awful lot of troops out there just getting damage done, sending out different squads to do all kinds of different things. You can just get so much done off of 2 bases as a Terran player. So why not stay to your 2 bases? I think Protoss players need to remember that as well, going against Zerg these days. I don't know what's been up with Protoss lately against Zerg. For a while, they were absolutely rocking face, but they seem to have forgotten the main strength of a Protoss against a Zerg, which is to build 1 million freaking gateways and overwhelm the Zerg with your powerful units. I don't know why more Protoss players aren't going for that recently. They've all been trying to go for the Corsair Reaver, trying to limit the amount of cannons and gateways they put down. But I think the movie was definitely onto something when it kind of popularized that in 2009. And that's just a very powerful way to approach a game. The put down 1 million gateways and hope for the best build, one of my favorite builds. But Hiya is hiding the amount of troops he has. He has most of them kind of back there, backed away from his front. But now he's going to push out, already pushing out with troops. And Su's going to have to panic here and put down some static defense. I don't think he'll be able to do this without static defense, because if he just tries to do it with mutas and zerglings, he has a lot of zerglings out, and he could get a nice pincer attack. But when the reinforcements come in for Hiya, yeah, this could be a slaughter, actually. But Hiya looks like he is a little bit behind on his turret timing. A little bit behind. He only has 1 turret behind his natural expansion, and just a couple of turrets inside the main. I think he was building back behind that natural inside of the main, actually. So Hiya is in kind of a bad way here. He has to fall back to his reinforcements, definitely. He has to get that group together, but it looks like Su is not going to let that happen. Su coming up here for a pincer attack. He's going to take down 1/2 of Hiya's troops fairly easily, I think. Yeah, the Zerglings really get in there and take those out, but the medic's going to fall back to the reinforcements. But now Hiya's army has been halved. So he has half of his army power that he had earlier. So he really should have fallen back to that reinforcement army, could have made a much stronger Terran ball, but now he's forced to fall back. As Su is taking his 3rd base, I believe, over at the 3 o'clock position. Wow, 6 barracks going now for Hiya, and his working at a limited turret count. Loses most of his turrets, pretty much every turret at the natural expansion, so forced to run back with his SCVs. He is focusing most of his minerals on these medic marines, just trying to push forward with the medic marines, but Su has done a great job so far of keeping that big push back, and he probably hasn't even put down any static defense. We'll have to take a look at his natural expansion soon, but he's done such a great job of sniping the reinforcements and keeping this army count low so far that he hasn't needed static defense, but he might need it soon, because even with Zerglings, I don't think this pincer attack is going to get it done. No, the Marines, sorry about that, but I think that the Marines have the +1 upgrade now, so they should be a pretty good threat, but they're killing the resupply line. Excellent play from Su there. He caps off the resupply line, forcing Hiya to move out with a smaller force than he wanted, but Hiya is going to pressure the front anyway, I think. He has to get something done. If he doesn't pressure Su soon, it's just going to be bad times. They're going for the resupply line again. Su, this is kind of brilliant play from him, actually, and he has lurkers in position. These could be stopped lurkers, actually. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't be. Stopped lurkers, as Hiya tries to move up, would just be absolutely deadly. I'm trying to see if these are stopped lurkers. I can't quite tell yet. Yeah, we got stopped lurkers. The medic kind of out of range there. Hiya moving forward very cautiously. Very, very cautiously. And I'm just wondering when Su is going to spring his trap. He's waiting for Hiya to move up a bit, but Hiya, he knows that something is up. He knows something is up. He's like, wait a second, this isn't right. Oh, front away. Su tries to grab a few Marines in that attack, but didn't quite have the patience to do that. Didn't have the patience. Stop lurkers are all about patience. I remember seeing play, I forget the Zerg player, but he had stop lurkers at his natural expansion and a bunch of sunken colonies, and the Terran player was attacking, taking down the sunkens. The Terran got close enough to harm the hatchery. Once the hatchery was about half health, that's when he released the stop lurker attack. And that's why it was so effective, because he waited, he was patient, making the Terran player think, oh, there couldn't possibly be stop lurkers here, and then boom, that's when you attack. But alright, the observers are pointing out that, oh man, there are no turrets anywhere. I'm not sure what Hiya's plan is in this game, but he's got to build some turrets. He knows that the Mutalisks are here and are a big threat. I guess he was just hoping that his medics and his Marines would be able to clean this up. But Su is going to establish a nice defensive line with these lurkers soon. So, yeah, I don't think any more stop lurkers are going to be effective, but the lurkers on the high ground are going to be able to defend this base. Hiya going for it anyway. I'm surprised he didn't commit to that, but I guess it was because the lurkers from the left were attacking him as he was moving up. He got a little bit scared, had to run away from that. Man, I think he probably could have snuck by, run past with a few stim Marines and been able to harass that base again, but now Su has a massive force, and he's forcing Hiya back to his base. And I don't think that Hiya's even been working on a third base or anything like that. He's still trying to pump massive amount of troops from this just two bases, building factories now. And he could be trying to switch into mech, which Baby tried to do against Killer earlier in the... Oh, Greater Spire! As soon as I bring up the correlation between those two games, we see a big correlation between the two games. Greater Spire coming up just as Killer did to Baby on this map when he tried to switch to mech. So apparently this mech switch, very predictable, maybe a little bit too predictable from the Terran players. Look at the amount of freaking lurkers that Su has out. Man, I'm thinking back to Su's games in the Pro League. He's just had so many wins in the Pro League, and of course, everyone is kind of reserving judgment because Su is a newer player. This is his first OSL. If Su moves up, he will be a Royal Rotor candidate. Very hard to say. But yes, Su, very new. Everyone's been reserving judgment, but he's been playing great. His game against C especially was great. So Hiya, man, I don't know what Hiya can do here. He's going to be facing Guardians soon as he's trying to switch into mech. And I think I know he put down his third factory, not sure about a fourth. If we see a fourth, that's definitely going to indicate mech. This just could be a vulture type of build, just trying to get vultures out. And he could stay at medic and marine. But we'll see soon when we look inside of this main again. See, the machine shop is spinning, most likely for the siege, for the tanks. And 2 starports coming up. I saw that earlier, didn't click. But yeah, 2 starports up now for Hiya, so he should have out at least some Wraiths to deal with this, but it could just be for dropships, actually. Yeah, he has a couple of... I don't think he would have enough gas to support mech and Wraiths at the same time. Here come the Guardians. Guardians coming up. 2 control towers on the starports. So, yeah, this is going to be for science vessels and dropships. He does not think that 1 starport is going to be enough. So, oh, he cancels. I guess he must have scanned the Guardians. He says, okay, I need some kind of anti-air right now. I can't be trapped by these Guardians inside of my base. Yeah, cancels both control towers and working on the Wraiths to fight back these Guardians. But the Guardians being forced back, you have to fall back to the Lurkers. The Lurkers and the Guardians are going to have to work together as a team to push forward. Keep the medic marines away as the Guardians outrange everything and take down everything that way. But the Defiler in now, getting the Dark Swarm, fighting back. I think there was 1 more Lurker maybe under that Dark Swarm, keeping Hiya away. But Hiya is not doing well because he's being trapped by Su's strategy at the moment. And now 2 Wraiths are out. Now he's going for his control towers. But even this could be a little bit risky because the Scourge are out. I saw Su has a couple of Scourge going up. He lands 1 Scourge, but only 1 Scourge. So, yeah, both of these Wraiths should be able to take down these Guardians pretty easily as long as no more Scourge come into play. If Scourge do take down these Wraiths, Hiya is going to have a very hard time because he just put down 2 control towers and he's going to be pumping science vessels and dropships from those instead of Wraiths, so it's going to take him a long time to get any additional Wraiths. But here comes Hiya. He's moving forward. He's going to be within siege range of these Lurkers, so Su is going to have to back off as soon as the scan gets done here. Yeah, scan takes down 2 Lurkers. Pretty quick reaction from Su. He loses 3 Lurkers, but he should be okay there as one single Guardian moving forward. There's a Defiler hiding itself under the Dark Swarm. And still, Hiya hasn't been able to get any harassment. What? Valkyries! Valkyries. Of course, everything, I guess, did not come true there. I thought he was going to go for science vessels and dropship play. But pumping Valkyries, what? What does he even need the Valkyries for at this stage? I guess he's really scared of the Guardians, or he just wants to take down an exorbitant amount of Overlords. That's the only thing I can figure. Because it's not like Su is going to go for a Mutilus tech switch at this stage in the game. He knows that science vessels are a possibility, and he can be taken down by 1 Irradiate if he switches into that. But Valkyries, Valkyries are going to make short work of the Guardians, that's for sure. The Guardians, oh, that was almost a huge mind drag into the 3 tanks that were sitting up there for Hiya. Hiya's got to back off here. The Dark Swarm is really pushing him back. 4 Valkyries for Hiya. So Hiya, I think this is to go Overlord hunting. I think that Hiya is going to go Overlord hunting in this game and just hunt Overlords. But these Valkyries, the Valkyries tear up air like no one's business. So the Valkyries, yeah, are going to destroy these Guardians. The Guardians are not going to last too much longer. So that will not have been a very great investment for Su. I think they got quite a bit of damage done and definitely made Hiya scared and made him pump those Wraiths. But yeah, this is going to be very strange. Very, very strange play from both now that Valkyries are out. Still pumping Valks, I think. A huge Valkyrie fleet is going to be out soon because there are already Valkyries out in the field sniping Overlords and whatnot and Guardians. I'm going to see what Su is up to. He's going for an Ultraless Cavern. I definitely think he has the gas to support this, looking at the map. Yeah, I think he has 4 or 5 gas, probably 5 gas at this point. So Ultras, he will be able to support Ultras. Excuse me. And the tanks will definitely help out with this likely the Valkyrie build. What are you doing, Hiya? This is very strange. But since Su is going for an Ultraless build, he's going to have to build... yeah, the Scourge to fight back the Valkyries. He doesn't have anything else. I guess before the Hydralisk morph into Lurkers, he can use those. I mean, look at this. Hiya, he was hiding most of his Valkyries. Just a huge Valkyrie army. This is a very strange surprise attack, but I guess I can't really expect anything less from Hiya going for absolute goofiness like this. The Valkyries destroy the Scourge pretty easily. One Scourge takes out a Valk, though, so Hiya's definitely got to be more careful now that he has revealed his Valkyries. He's revealed his strategy, his surprising strategy. He's got to be a lot more careful. Surprisingly, Su has kept some Guardians alive. He has a few Guardians alive, and the Overlords are hanging by the Hydralisk in the middle now. Because Su thinks, oh man, I have nothing else to fight back these Valkyries unless I want to pump nothing but Scourge, but he doesn't want to waste all of his gas on that. He's saving up gas for his Ultras at the moment, so yeah, keep him by the Hydras. There's a plague of a couple of tanks. Still plenty of tanks in the back, and Hiya really needs to bring everything together. He's playing defensively now, but I think that he can push forward and play aggressively, especially with these Valkyries out, to distract Su. Su will be so worried about his Overlords if he can't take out these Valkyries with the Scourge. Valkyries have splash damage, so they can take down a cloud of Scourge pretty easily. So yeah, Hiya's got to push, which is what he's trying to do, pushing his way up. Going to try to take out the 12 o'clock position, I think. Tanks inching forward. So instead of Goliaths, whoa, man, that's a lot of Ultras. Oh my god. So yeah, the Valkyries obviously not going to help much with this. So Hiya's going to have to fall back. No, he's holding his ground. I don't know why. He has a nice minefield out, and he's just got to fall back to the minefield, I think, to tackle this. Because here comes some Dark Swarm now from Su. He doesn't have the Dark Swarm in the best places, though. He's still moving in with Dark Swarm, constantly consuming, constantly doing the Dark Swarm. And it looks like the Ultras are pretty much cleaned up. Yeah, Ultralisk melt to the tanks. Oh man, kind of a look of exasperation from Su, thinking, well, I just lost about 12 Ultras. That kind of sucks. That was about 1 billion minerals, 1 billion gas. Should be able to replenish that pretty easily. But Su is definitely keeping up on his macro as Hiya is pushing forward like this. Still a couple of Ultras alive. But Su is doing a good job with the Dark Swarm, at least, making Hiya kind of run back to his base a little bit, keeping him from directly attacking one of his own bases. Because that 12 o'clock is definitely in danger. This is definitely the one that Hiya is going for. Nice mind drag from the Ultras, destroying pretty much Hiya's entire army. Well, definitely half of his army. There comes some reinforcement tanks moving up. But yeah, man, that was a nice mind drag. The Ultras are pretty much the only unit that Zerg has for mine drag. Zerglings usually don't survive long enough to drag the mine. The mine will drag and then go back down to the ground. But Ultras definitely can do that. And yeah, that worked out fantastically. All those tanks just dying. But these Overlords now, the Overlords in huge danger. Because there are not even any Hydras in the vicinity anymore. I still can't believe there are Guardians alive in this game. But the Guardian being chased away as well. So all of the Overlords are in jeopardy, but most of them kind of fanned out. Su is probably pumping some Scourge, trying to figure out a way. He plagues the Valkyries I saw. Yeah, plagued Valkyries. So one Scourge apiece should be able to take these down. There are the Scourge that Su pumps, trying to come in here, take down each Valk with a single Scourge. And get rid of this Valkyrie threat. And it doesn't seem that Hiya is pumping any additional Valkyries, so yeah, he is not. He is working on a Radiate for his Science Vessels. Very late Science Vessel tech switch from Hiya, but yeah, he's going to need those Science Vessels soon to deal with the Lurkers coming his way. And he needs to start irradiating some Defilers as well. He's let a lot of Defilers live in this game, and that's kind of cost him because of the amount of Dark Swarm that have been out there. But Su is taking the middle base, at the hotly contested middle base. Almost impossible to hold on this map, but he's going to try to hold it anyway. Now he's coming here trying to get a mind drag with the Zerglings. He does mind drag with the Zerglings into 2 tanks. Man, that was a nice play from Su. He's going to lose that Overlord, but that was worth it to take out the 2 tanks. There's a continuous pump. It's kind of ridiculous. The 6 o'clock position is in jeopardy. At least the extractor is down there. That extractor is not going to be able to stay up any amount of time, so Su can just forget about taking the gas at the 6 o'clock. So Hiya has got to work on... Yeah, he's just got to work on clamping down on Su. Su has been basically able to expand anywhere he wants, unharassed, and and Hiya, I don't think, has taken down a single base. So Hiya needs to stop playing defensively and start clamping down on these bases. He can start with the middle, and the middle is probably the easiest one to take down. He is trying to get to that point. He does have, he did get a scan, so he's going to take out these lurkers pretty easily if he does a second scan anyway. But yeah, Su's economy has just been ridiculous in this game. He's definitely been keeping up with his macro, and since he has all these bases, he can still pump ultras. Hey, look at all these ultras still coming in for him. After he lost about 12 earlier, he's still pumping them just because he has so many bases, so many gas. Scourge coming in, taking out a science vessel, but the science vessels all have irradiate, ready to go. Oh man, we can see another epic mine drag from these ultras. Still the mines in. Hiya is playing with fire here. He's just fighting too close to these mines. Here comes the ultra. I think that was a mine drag, but I don't think the tanks took the full brunt of it. They all got plagued, so they're going to be down to 2 health soon. Yeah, ultra, one hitting the tanks. Boom. Boom! Oh, that one wasn't plagued. Never mind. It's going to take a little bit longer to get to the boom. We'll get to the boom. Don't worry. The boom we'll get there. But yes, the tanks, still plenty of tanks for Hiya, but not much else for him. He's trying to rely on tanks to fight back basically everything. He doesn't have the nice, well-rounded unit that the Goliath is to help himself out, to act as meat shields for the tanks. So he is just going tanks, tanks, tanks. And now Su cleaning this up. More mine drags, more ultras. So things are actually not looking good for Hiya. He's just being out-pumped. Su is just going Sauron Zerg by just pumping non-stop from all of his hatcheries. Nice booming economy. And this is the real strength of a Zerg player. Well, actually, the real strength of a Zerg player is the tech switch, which they can do almost instantly. But yeah, once you get enough bases, you can just pump troops non-stop. It is extremely difficult to deal with for any other races, especially when you throw ultras in the mix. And it seems that Hiya's economy just can't support any more defense from this. Yeah, a few more mines being laid at Hiya's natural expansion, but he just does not have any reinforcements. He has no reinforcements to deal with the ultras at all. He has his freaking Valkyries that he pumped earlier. But yeah, the Valkyries taking out a few overlords, but they're definitely not going to help against this gigantic attack from Su. Su pushing forward, getting the Dark Swarms to make sure his ultras are safe at the natural expansion, taking out everything at the 9 o'clock. That 9 o'clock is basically sapped dry anyway. So I don't think that Hiya completely thought the late game through. He thought he was going to be able to end it from 4 bases, maybe even earlier than that with the huge amount of barracks he built earlier. But yeah, look at all these factories he's got going. Kind of ridiculous. GG from Hiya. He had nothing left. Absolutely nothing left. So no tiebreaker at all. C is out. Hiya is out. And Su and Fantasy, teammates by the way, move out of Group A. Very impressive game from Su. That's probably the most impressed I've been of one of his games in this OSL so far. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs in the round of 8. Alright, Group A decided. Just threw my water cap for no reason. I was hoping it would make like a gigantic thumping sound, but it did not. Let's move on to Group B.